Hello, my friends. My name is Erica, also known as Ariana. I thought I would make a video to tell you a little about myself. I'm recording this with text-to-speech because it's the smoothest way to get these thoughts across. Comment below with anything you wish to know about me, and I will answer your questions in my next video. My lore. My sister and I was brought into this world in Victoria, Texas. The southern region of Texas is a hidden gem that just screams adventure. I mean, with the warm climate all year round, you can enjoy hiking and fishing anytime. And don't even get me started on the Gulf Coast beaches, they are heaven on earth. Not only are they breathtakingly beautiful, but they serve up some of the best seafood in the country. So if you ever find yourself wandering around South Texas, make sure to take advantage of every opportunity to explore and have fun. Trust me, it's entirely worth it. As a kid, I used to go on hiking adventures with my family, and it was the best thing ever. We'd venture out to parks and trails, armed with nothing but our curiosity and a basket full of goodies. My mom would pack sandwiches made with fresh bread and homemade fillings. My favorite was egg salad. We also had juicy peaches and crisp apples to snack on while we hiked. For something sweet, my dad would bake cookies or brownies the night before and wrap them up in wax paper for us to enjoy after lunch. Naturally, we always had a thermos full of hot cocoa or tea to warm us up if it got chilly on the trail. Those goodies were just as important as our hiking gear. They kept us fueled and happy all day long. The thrill of exploring the great outdoors was simply unmatched as we scampered through the trees, scaling rocks and discovering trickling streams. And even now that I'm older, I still yearn for that rush of excitement and connection with nature that only the trails can provide. In fact, it's probably why I can never stay in one place for too long. The call of adventure is just too strong to resist. Fishing has always been another one of my favorite pastimes. The mere thought of it puts me in state of pure bliss. There's nothing like feeling the gentle sway of the boat and hearing the waves lapping against its sides to ease my mind. Be it casting from shore or venturing out into the sea, fishing is always a source of pure joy for me. Let's not forget about the ultimate reward, indulging in the succulent taste of freshly cooked fish that I court myself. Whenever I have some free time, you can bet your fanny that would be packing up my gear and heading straight to my favorite fishing spot, ready to cast my line and leave all my worries behind. When I'm out in nature, I feel like a part of something bigger than myself. It's humbling to be surrounded by such beauty and power, and it reminds me that we're all just small pieces of this incredible world. Being outside also helps me clear my mind and put things into perspective. When I'm hiking or exploring, I'm not thinking about emails or deadlines or bills. I'm just focused on the moment and enjoying the experience. Plus, there's something so refreshing about breathing in fresh air and feeling the sun on your face. It's a reminder that life is meant to be lived, not just survived. Connecting with nature reminds me of how interconnected everything is. We depend on the earth for our survival, and it's up to us to take care of it. Getting out and appreciating its beauty is one small way I can do my part. I remember my sister and I had long days filled with laughter, playtime, and lots of sunshine. We spent our days running around parks and playgrounds, making new friends, and learning new things. Adults around us were so kind and patient with us, always encouraging us to explore and discover. I remember my school years as days filled with excitement and wonder. From recess games to classroom projects, there was always something fun to do. I loved going to school every day because it was a place where I could be myself and express my creativity. We had a delightful sense of community. We cheered each other on during sports games and celebrated each other's accomplishments. My school years were filled with joy, laughter, and endless possibilities, everything a kid could ever want. In high school I discovered a love of sewing and design. I spent countless hours poring over fashion magazines and sketching out my ideas. I couldn't wait to get home from school so I could start working on my latest project. It was like a puzzle, trying to figure out how to make the fabric fit exactly right and create the look I had in mind. I loved the feeling of accomplishment when I finally finished a piece and got to see it come to life. Sewing became my creative outlet, a way for me to express myself and display my personal style. After high school, I packed my bags and hit the road, leaving Texas behind for a new adventure on the East Coast. College was a delight, especially opening my world and meeting new people from all over the world. I also loved exploring all that the school had to offer, from the libraries filled with books on every subject imaginable to the student clubs where I could meet like-minded individuals. I sampled a different club every semester hoping to find one that was perfect for me, and I ended up joining a wilderness club in the third quarter of my freshman year. I majored in political science, spending countless hours poring over books, articles, and research papers. I was fascinated by the intricacies of government systems and how they affected people's lives. My days were filled with reading, analyzing data, and authoring papers that delved deep into complex issues. After years of hard work and dedication, I earned my master's degree in political science. As an adult, I lived in North Carolina. I delighted in the warm sunshine and the sweet scent of magnolias in the air. Living in North Carolina felt like a dream come true. The people were friendly, the food was delicious, and the scenery was breathtaking. I loved spending my weekends exploring the Blue Ridge Mountains or lounging on the beautiful beaches along the coast. There was always something to do. My favorite was attending a local festival, and let's not forget about the barbecue. I could never get enough of that tangy, smoky flavor that seemed to be everywhere you turned. My two favorite sports were swimming and basketball. I loved the feeling of dribbling the ball down the court, my heart racing as I made my way towards the basket. Playing women's basketball was a passion that filled me with excitement every time I stepped onto the court. The rush of adrenaline as I jumped up for a layup or blocked a shot from an opponent made me feel truly alive. Even when my team didn't win, there was always something to learn from each game, whether it was improving our defense or refining our offensive strategies. My twin sister and I were fraternal twins with different fathers. Yet Ella and I still seemed to share the same heart. She went with a foreign exchange program in college and met a man in Norway, whom she brought back to Texas so he could meet our folks. He was so wonderfully polite and old-fashioned. He asked our daddy's permission to marry Ella, and when we finally met, we became instant best friends, like Alice and Bella. The three of us joined the world of online roleplay together. We did everything together, including leaving platforms together when one of us got bullied or witch hunted. My sister died of a brain aneurysm last February. A few months later I moved to Delaware and shacked up with a guy I'd met at a textile convention. He was a stranger to me, but I didn't care. He had broad shoulders and an easy smile that made me feel safe. He told me about his failed marriage and I shared stories about my sister, trying to keep her memory alive. We were two wounded souls seeking comfort in each other's company. It worked for a while. It could have worked forever, but I wanted to sightsee on the West Coast and he had a bossy older sister who didn't like me. He felt like he couldn't defy her, and I felt like I couldn't be with someone who let his wings be clipped so easily. We broke up amicably and are still friends. There's a lot more that I could say, but that will have to wait for part 2. I hope you enjoyed my introductory video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me.